Hi guys, Shkar here from Kung Fu Zone. Today I want to talk to you about a very rare style that I've been practicing for around 20 years, and it's what I teach. In addition to the Tiger Crane combination, I teach this style to my students. The style is a Shaolin internal style, which we call Suang Yang, which means frost and sun, so Shuang Yang Fist and Sun Fist. It's based on the white crane system, and when you look at it, it looks exactly like Tai Chi, but it's Tai Chi being a Taoist system. Our Suang Yang form is a Buddhist system from the Shaolin Temple. So I wanted to do a video because videos of the Suang Yang form and explanations about it are very rare, and I remember as a student I would look for explanations, I would look for details and written stuff about this form, and I just couldn't find any anywhere. So I thought, well, why not do one for my students and anyone else who's practicing this form who might want to get some information about it. The Suang Yang form is a 66 posture form, and it can take 6 months to a year to learn, depending on how often you train, how hard you train, and it's very, very beneficial. It's a martial art. I teach it as a martial art, and all the movements are based on Shaolin martial arts techniques, but it's a soft fist, so unlike other Shaolin systems. My lineage is from Master Ang Lian Huat from Singapore, and it's very, very strange. I've never seen this system practiced by any other student or any other instructor or anywhere else outside of that lineage. So there are many people who practice this form from Master Ang downwards, but before that, I don't know anybody. If you do, let me know. That'd be great to speak to them, to talk to them. As a student, I was often told by my instructor, you don't need to always practice the whole 66 form because we don't have much space all the time. We might not have the time to practice the 66 posture form. I was always told, practice the first 4 moves. The first 4 moves contain all the important elements that you need to understand the whole form. So I did. I listened to my instructor like a good student, practiced it over and over again when I didn't have the space to practice the 66 movement form. But I never really understood, and it was never really explained to me why the first 4 moves are really important and what are the elements within it that a student should learn and should know. And through my training I've understood this, and this video is about the first 4 moves and my understanding of why it's important and why the first 4 moves contain everything you really need to know, and the other moves are just extensions and expanding on the importance of the first 4 moves. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and yeah, let's go. So the first move is called Salute to the Sun. It starts in a neutral posture, straight, feet 1 shoulder width wide, toes pointing forwards. Make sure you're relaxed, your shoulders are sunk, your crown is drawn up so that your spine is straight. Just make sure you take a few deep breaths just to settle you into your body. Sink, shift, turn, place in front, hands come up in front of you, and down. And that's the first posture, salute to the sun. Second posture is called from the cross to the stretch, and I'll show this one from the side because it's better viewed from the side. So we've completed our first posture. We shift back, cross our hands, place behind, turn into a horse stance, open the chest, stretch out, palms facing out, and stretch the arms. Make sure the shoulders, the elbows and the wrists stretch. From the cross to the stretch. The third movement from here, shift, grab, forwards, base, and stretch. And this one is called the general snatches the seal. And the fourth movement, 2 shoulders go down. From here, come back into the cross, face behind, turn, palms out, draw back, turn over, and stretch. So that's the first 4 moves. And now I'm going to do the first 4 moves together as if I was doing the pattern. Now, if you haven't done any form of Tai Chi, any form of Taoist Tai Chi, you'll come across the 8 qualities or 8 primary hands that are taught. The 8 primary hands being Peng, Lu, Ji, An, Chai, Lai, Zhao, Kao. Excuse my pronunciation. So these are ways of, or qualities of, how your body feels and projects power. Yeah? So these are skills and qualities that you develop when you're training. Now the 4 primary ones, Peng, Lu, Ji and An, are important, and then there's 4 secondary ones which are in between, so they make up for the gaps between the 4 primary hands. Our first 4 moves contain all 8 hands. Yeah, all 8 hands, and that's why it's so important. Very efficient. Within 4 moves, all 8 qualities are contained. But today I'll explain how the first 4 primary ones are contained within the first 4 moves: Peng, Lu, Ji, and An. And I'll explain to you what they are as much as I can within my limited knowledge. And hopefully show you with a partner how they can manifest. So the first movement is teaching you the quality that in Tai Chi and other internal arts is called Peng, or it's referred to as Peng. And a good way to describe this is if you have a beach ball, the inflation. So as you press on it, there's an inflation coming out. It's very difficult to describe. It's just a quality you develop when you practice your internal arts properly. So the first movement is showing you and teaching you the quality of Peng, of expanding, and it's called warding off in Tai Chi circles. So Pung can be a big movement. So the movement, our first movement, is a big movement showing Pung. But over time, as you develop, as you get better, this Pung can become more and more internal. And by internal, I don't mean anything magical or spiritual. Internal just means inside. So it's the inside muscles and tendons moving, and it doesn't look like there's much going on externally. But that's because there's a lot going on internally. So the big movement for warding off here. So if Christina's holding my wrists here, I just sink. And as I sink, what happens is I relax. Yeah, so all my energy relaxes. And as I relax, it takes my opponent off her center a little bit. I twist and that takes her off more. I step. As I step, now her alignment, her structure is broken. And from here, I can just use that expansion to ward off, yeah? To throw. As I explained, this ability to ward off can be big or it can be small, yeah? So if I'm just developing the last bit of, so this bit of the movement, you can create it. So if Christina applies force here, so move here so they can see. If Christina is applying force and pushing me this way, yeah? If she does it properly and I don't use the techniques that I've learned, if she pushes, this is what will happen, yeah? Normal. But if she does it, the first thing I need to do is I neutralize her force that comes in. So as she pushes hard, yeah, she push again. There's nothing for her to push. Why? Not because I'm resisting. I'm not resisting. Resisting looks like this. Push. Yeah, it's not what I'm doing. I'm just taking her force and neutralizing it. Then after I've neutralized it, she falls onto my Pung, and then I can ward her off. So it looks like, so the movement externally is quite small, but the effect is quite big. And again, you okay? Yeah? Okay. So that's Pung. The second movement was this one. You draw back and stretch. Now this is a yielding movement, yeah? And it's the quality of Liu, yeah? Which is to receive, to roll back, to yield. Okay? So again, done with Christina. Let's do the big movement first. So if she applies force to my chest, again, if she does it properly and I don't yield, she's going to push me over. But if she does it and I use this movement, can you see? I'm just not there for her to push. And again, I'm just not there for her to push. Now again, like the first one, this ability to yield becomes smaller and smaller as you train. So you don't need such a big movement, but this yielding quality can be done inside, internally. So if she applies force to my chest here, what I can do is as she applies the force, I yield. Apply the force, I yield. Yeah? But what I can do after that is I can yield and then I can just bounce her force back to her. And that should send her backwards slightly. I can't do that straight away. First thing, I need to yield her force. Okay? Now, as she pushes, I send it back. I'm not doing anything, I'm just getting out of the way of her force and then sending it back. One time. Yeah? That's the second movement. The third movement is this one. So from here, I reach, come across, I lift up, place, and and stretch the punch. Okay? This is basically a strike, and this teaches you the quality of Qi, which is being able to concentrate and triangulate this expansive pushing away force. Yeah, so instead of it being a big beach ball, you're squeezing this power, this quality into a small area, triangulating and hitting. Yeah? So if I do this movement, the whole movement big. So first thing, so this is one application. It could be, there's many different applications, but at the moment I'm talking about the four main hands, which are Peng, Lu, Ji and An. So from here, as I've come back, if she's held my wrist here, I can draw her back and just punch. Okay? But again, this movement is a big movement. Like all the other movements, the more you train, the smaller it can become, and the power production, the more internal it becomes. So from here, if she's applying force on my hands here, and I'm doing the movement, so she applies the force down, and again, if I don't do anything, I'm gone. As she applies the force, I can yield and throw. Yeah? One more time. Yield and throw. Okay? And the last one, from here, you come back, draw in, and press down. Yeah? Earth. Now this is called two shoulders go down. So it's not just the palms, your shoulders go down as well. Then you sink your shoulders. And what this is teaching you is the quality of An. An is about pressing from above your opponent down. And it's a quality of heaviness. Yeah, so your opponent feels like they can't resist this movement, they can't get above it. Okay? So again, showing the movement, let's do it from this side, showing the movement. If she presses in, I come in, and I can push down. Yeah? Again, I yield, always start with yielding and relaxing, and then push down. Okay? Now, again, if it's again, that's a big movement, and again, we can make it small. So if she applies force to my chest, and the more force she applies, yeah, the better it will work, because it's her own force that's going back into her. It's not my force. So if she's soft and she applies a little bit of force, nothing's going to happen. I can't bring her down. But, and again, if she pushes me back and I don't do anything, I'm going to go back. There's nothing I can do. But if she pushes, so go backwards a little bit and push quite hard, she drops. Can you see? And again, no, one more time. There. Pause her to collapse. Again, it's not magic. There's no weird things going on here. It's just physics. Yeah. Inside my body, I'm mobilizing my muscles. I'm mobilizing my tendons, my fascia, the ligaments, and not using big, bulky triceps, biceps muscles. And it's about the flexibility of this. Okay? The first four movements contain the four primary hands, which are Peng, Lu, Ji, and An. They also contain the four secondary hands, but I'll leave that for you to understand and learn. You can't explain everything. So practice, try and practice with this understanding and this quality, and yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you, Christina. I hope this video has been helpful for those of you who practice Suang Yang, or those of you who teach Suang Yang and want to teach it at a deeper level. Ask me any questions. I'm always happy to talk. Always happy to answer questions. Leave me comments. Even if you don't do Suang Yang, if you're just interested in Chinese internal arts, then I hope this has been helpful to you. And as always, a disclaimer I want to put there: this is my current level of understanding, so it's very likely that in a few years I will know better, and I apologize for my level of understanding at this current stage. But I think this video will hopefully be useful to students who do Suang Yang and other people who are interested in internal Chinese martial arts, because as I said, Shaolin internal art is quite rare. I haven't seen much. If you've enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed my other stuff, I'll be posting more, so please subscribe down below.